Hey, Coach, I'm so excited that you found us on YouTube. Let me know how we can help. The video is just a small snippet of all the things we have over at TeachHoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's everything. It is the resource for basketball coaches, one-on-one calls, office hours with me. I've coached at every level. I've coached NBA guys. Let me help you become a better basketball coach. Doesn't matter which level you're at. I am here to help. I'm here to serve. So go over and check it out. All right, let's head off to the video.
All right, perfect. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Busy, but I still have my voice, so that's always a good thing. So
That is good.
we got snowed out, so I didn't have to yell at any officials this weekend, so it was good.
Yeah, we played Monday or Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
And the C game, freshman games, they don't yell at officials. So
Yeah. I know. I had such a bad official when I was coaching freshmen at one point that he gave me like 2 or 3 tees and didn't know enough to toss me. That's how bad. And I told him that on the way out. I go, "You're so bad that you didn't even know that I shouldn't have been here the last like 7 minutes." But
yeah, we had bad officials on Friday. Here in South Dakota, Madison, South Dakota,
okay.
and they get teachers,
Right.
whoever
It's hard. Yeah. Nobody wants to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and man, I got stared down during the JV game. The C game, freshman, we won by 30, and
Right.
I didn't have any problems. But man, guys were getting hammered.
Right.
But
I
during
worry
the
about
JV,
guys getting hurt. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And so then the JV game, my you can say my mentor coach that I have, he named Dave Preheim. He's a big Don Meyer guy.
Don Meyer's was an awesome coach. Unbelievable. One of the best.
When I was in high school, when I was a senior in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, we went 25-0, won the whole thing, first team to ever go undefeated.
Right.
And Don Meyer spoke at our FCA breakfast before the day state championship, and the guy's hilarious.
He was funny. He was always taking notes too. I still, every once in a while, I'll get, he used to be at clinics and stuff, and he'd always he'd give everything. Every once in a while, I'll find like in my filing cabinets, I'll find Don Meyer stuff, like a little orange car. He had everything color coded too. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, and then so our JV coach, Coach Brand, he has a binder of Don Meyer. It is like this thick. And I looked at it one time, and it was like you could just flip through and it would spark something in your mind of like, why did I not think of that? Like we do the transition defense philosophy of halfback, fullback.
Right.
And this is my 4th year coaching, and never, as a player, never thought about these concepts and stuff. But I'm like, halfback, fullback, what are you talking about? This ain't football.
Right.
And he explained, and I got video on it too, of a clinic, and it was just blew my mind about how, you get one guy back, you get 2 by back, halfback at the half court, fullback at the underneath the rim, and then you got 3 guys going after the offensive rebound, and just a lot of things that he did. And it's cool because being from South Dakota, he's Aberdeen.
Right.
It was pretty cool to hear him and listen to him on that day. It was awesome.
Oh, I bet it was. So do you have questions?
Yeah. So, like I said, inspiring to be a head coach.
Okay.
So
yep.
This is my 4th year in South Dakota.
Okay.
And just a little background. My first 2 years I was the volunteer coach.
Okay.
Didn't get paid or anything, but just fine. Just assistant to the freshman coach for 2 years, and assistant for JV and varsity. And we had really good success. My first year we won the state championship in Class A for South Dakota.
Right.
The next year we went to the championship and lost. And then the last year we went to the championship and we went we lost one game, went 24-1. The one team we lost to was La Lemire.
Okay.
We had to play in the Pentagon, and it was not by we didn't know. It was like 5 days before, hey, your team has to play a different team. Your chances are Findlay Prep or La Lemire. Our head coach goes, give us the number 1 team in the nation.
Right.
And we had 2 studs that went to play D1 basketball. One's at UC Irvine, one's at South Dakota State.
Okay.
But anyways, so had some success. And then last
And
year,
where did you play that game?
Sioux Falls Pentagon,
Okay.
Sanford Pentagon in Sioux
Okay.
Falls. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just is the Hoop City Classic. It used to be the Mike Miller Classic.
Okay. Yep.
Mike Miller Holiday Classic. So it's Hoop City now. And but yeah, we played them, and Isaiah Stewart II is a man amongst boys when we played him.
There's different levels to some of those guys. Yes, there really are. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to be a head coach, basically.
Yep.
All right. And so it sounds like you have a great mentor, which is the first step. I think that I always tell young coaches that. So have you started to brain dump yourself? So what I always tell coaches is get a binder, get a Google Doc, and start brain dumping everything. When you think of something, it should be similar to that Don Meyer thing we were just talking about. Because you should, I mean, if you want a job, at some point you're going to apply for the job and you're going to interview for the job, and you want to have thought about everything, and you want a portfolio that goes through just about everything.
Yeah, I actually,
from the point of even getting off the bus and getting on the bus, kind of thing.
Yeah. So our head coach, he resigned last year to move to Iowa to be with his family.
Okay.
They moved and stuff. So I applied for the head coaching job for this year.
Right.
Didn't get it, which is fine. But the experience was amazing of getting the interview itself.
Yep.
And then Coach Preheim, he said, "Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this?" And it got me thinking, like, no, I don't. I need to get that.
Yeah.
So that's that brain dumping. I have files on files of like, okay, I need to have a playing time. I need to have this situation, parent stuff, all these things. And
it's a long, like I remember when I applied for the current one that I got, I think it was like 45 pages. I think I had it in binder. It was like 45 pages. Now, obviously some of that stuff you use, some of that stuff you don't use, but you just got to be ready for any it's basically it's your owner's manual, basically. Like, if this comes up, how do I deal with it? Kid missed practices for to go to a birthday party. How does that work? For kid misses for a funeral. How does that work? How do you deal with basically every situation? So part of it is user's manual, and then part of it is, what's your offensive and defensive philosophy? Now, those things can change because it depends on, we're high school coaches. We can't go out and recruit like 3-point shooters and those kind of things. So, but I think you've got to think about, there's got to be some foundational things like, obviously Tony Bennett's a big guy in our state, but you have to have some foundational things first. So do you have that in a working document? Do you have that where you can put your philosophy in 3 sentences kind of thing?
Yeah, I got a basketball philosophy that that Coach Preheim helped me out with. And,
okay.
Less
is
maybe
more.
A little.
Yeah.
Yep, and it may look a little bit longer when I look at it, and so you got to shrink that down maybe a little bit. But I have that going. A defensive philosophy. I mean, this is my only program I've been a part of, and we've been doing what's worked. So it's kind of like our defensive philosophy. I believe in forcing baseline. There's one, I can't remember the coach's name, but they said force the player off the roof. Free throw line extended, force them off the roof, and then don't let them in your house, which is the paint. And we force, like, I'm big in a force baseline, hedge / blitz ball screen, whatever terminology you want to use. Yeah. Flood the midline and then get back.
Yep.
But
So here's what I would say for your development, even more than the job applications kind of thing, is I can just tell you that I was under 7 coaches before I got my job, and the stuff I do, I took a little bit from all of them. Now, I'm sure the person you're under is great, but at some point you got to go out and find some other people. Either through camps or find some other mentors in the area or start. I mean, it's hard when you're coaching to go out and see other people, how they do things, but most coaches are pretty open to especially the young coaches. That's kind of my theory. If a 50-year-old coach comes and asks me, it's like a little different than a 22-year-old coach and says, okay, absolutely. Either one can come, but it's like, why is that one coming? I'm always open to the young ones that want to try to learn because it's a great game. So I think that's what you have to try to, don't pigeonhole yourself, because you never know.
Yep.
The job you might get might have a bunch of guys 5'11", or you might get a job where everyone's over 6'6", and you might have to change things defensively or offensively or those kind of things.
Yep.
So that's what I always tell the young coaches is you just want to you want to know you don't want to use everything, you want to know everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you don't want to know how to run a 1-3-1, even though you may never use it in your career.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure you know how to run it.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things. And then as a young coach, you're just trying to keep your head above water. I get it. And you're learning the stuff that the coach you're under is doing. And you probably are really good at that. It's just like, I'm going to counter you. You know, if we play, I'm countering you. So how are you going to my counter? Because I know you're doing this. I'm going to do this. You're going to do this. It's kind of like a little chess match kind of thing.
Yep. And that's kind of what I've been doing for, like, you know, trying to I steal as much offenses and defense as I can off, you know, like Fast Model Sports and other coaches and clinics.
Yep.
And one thing my coach Pam always said is, you know, whenever you presented me an offense, I've always told you how I'm going to defeat it.
Right.
You know.
Well, and does he let you do stuff with the varsity?
Yeah. So like during our practice, when we do like skill development rotations, you know, us three coaches for 32 guys, we'll have our own station. So I get a chance to be at the varsity for my station for at least one part of the day, or like when we're with guards, get to be with them.
Okay.
And then there's times where we have our freshmen who are really good. They'll play against go against the varsity, and then that gives me an opportunity to coach the freshmen and chirp in on the varsity stuff too.
Okay.
On stuff we see. But then during practices, the JV coach, Coach Briam, he goes down with the varsity with the 13 guys that we have.
Right.
And then I take the JV and freshmen. So I get 17 guys. So I work with them. So I get to work with.
So who does the scouting? Who does all that kind of stuff? Varsity.
All three of us watch film.
Because that's the kicker is you got to. I mean, I'm old school, but I mean, I've watched more film than any human being probably ever with the old VHS tapes and stuff. And now it's even easier than it used to be in the old days. So I think film breakdown is huge for young coaches, because I think the problem is everyone in your league probably does similar things every year in and year out, is my guess.
Yeah, we don't have a huge coaching turnover in Class A and Double A. I mean, in Class A we got 54 teams.
Right.
In Class A, and you know, we're in called the DAC-12 conference, which in my opinion is one of the best conferences in the state of South Dakota.
Right.
It's very tough and competitive, but you have coaches who don't leave because
why would you?
Why would you? I mean, you compete and you get to go to the state tournament, and so you kind of get their tendencies and you know what they're going to do. But that was one thing. Like Coach Graham and Coach Fechner, who's now in Iowa, they said one thing. You know, when I was first looking at film, I'd diagram every single set, all this stuff, and then they go, "You never know what they're going to run. Just get tendencies.
Yes.
Just get tendencies."
High school basketball is really about matchups. To be honest with you, it's a lot about matchups.
Yeah, and that's what we did. Okay, if who's guarding who, and can we switch it? Can we not switch it? Who's going?
Right. How are we gonna handle screens? How are we gonna handle that? So here's the next question: Are you willing to leave to find another job, or are you tied to South Dakota?
Right now, we have our firstborn child. She's 7 months.
Okay, so you're
it's a little tough to leave right now.
Right.
But
so your pool is smaller. Your pool is smaller.
Yeah.
Your pool is smaller.
But you know, that's a conversation I've had with my wife though, and saying, you know, it'd be tough, but you know, we'd find a way to make it work. Right. You know, but I'm not going to force my family to do something that's going to put us in a bad spot.
No. I get it. Yeah. I mean, if you were single and didn't have any, it's totally different. There's a lot of high school jobs that open up. It's just a matter if you're willing to move. So I think that changes a little bit too, because then it's really going to be about networking for you. If you're going to stay in the area or you're going to stay there, it's literally about, I mean, the door will open, the door will close because of who you know, to be honest with you. I mean, you got to know your stuff. You got to have all your things ready. But if you're staying in, then you got to, you know, I went through when I got mine, I encircled every job in Wisconsin I thought I could get and thought I would have a shot at. And then, I just watched and waited until stuff opened. So that's what you got to kind of do, but then you got to get your name out there too. So camps, working camps, those kind of things will help a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one thing, like, so we, as coaches last night, we were watching the football game at our stats guy's house. And, I told them I was going to talk to you, and they, Coach Priam, kind of mentor guy, he goes, if you want anyone else's names too, I'll hook you up. I'll get you out there. You can talk to coaches on coaches. He goes, I know guys on the East Coast, and I know coaches. And the guy, like, you two would get meshed, because this guy has in his drawer at the high school, he's got probably over 100 DVDs of different philosophies and defenses.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like it's almost too. I mean, I've tried to simple. Like, if I can't get everything on a sheet of paper anymore, I don't do it, because it's almost too much for me now. It's like all this noise. But that's, I mean, that yeah. It sounds like I think you're on the right track, because you have a mentor. You have someone that's going to help direct you. The key is, if you want a head job, first of all, you probably want to move up from the level you're at.
Yeah.
So the best high school job is the one to the left of the head coach, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you don't take any of the grief, and you get to help make the decisions with the head coach. The varsity assistant is the best job in high school, in my opinion.
And I've been beneficial, had the benefit of having a really good two sets of our head coach when I first started, and Coach Graham, the assistant coach, where I just learned a bunch.
Right.
And then, they actually took a lot of my ideas when we went on our championship runs.
Right.
We took some ideas, and then the new coach is just as good, and we all mesh well. But you're absolutely right, is to try to
the key is and the thing is, like, it's like eventually someday when you do your own staff, it's like you want a little bit of every. I have the best staff. I've had 2 staffs basically in my 30 years, and it's great. I tell people I want a Yoda, so I want somebody that's really knowledgeable, knows more than me. I've got one of those. I want a young pup that will do all the grunt work that I don't want to do. And then I got one that questions everything I do, like in a good way, but will, like, ooh, you want to do that? Ooh, you want to do that?
Yep.
Because all I do is I want all the input. Like, I'm Google. Like, I want all the data, and then I'm going to figure out what to do with it. So that's great. If you've got coaches that are willing to take all that data, that's what you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got some work done to get the portfolio. Like, could you present it? You feel good about presenting it right now to a committee?
The philosophy one,
the whole, like, everything, the whole kit.
Everything. I would say I need to write. I did present it, and my superintendent said it was, and my AD said it was good.
Okay.
They said it was good. I mean, it was this thick, but
that's good. That's what they said. It was good. I want to mess with it. Yeah.
Yep. And the AD said it was really good. And he goes, I called the superintendent, after me, he's like, did you get this book from Hurley? Yeah. Right. And the superintendent goes, where's the offense?
Right.
Because I just had an offense philosophy of, we're going to run what is best for our team and what suits our team, but I didn't put plays or anything. But I had my defense philosophy mapped out to a T.
Then you got to probably do that with the offensive part. Too.
Yep.
Just pick something that doesn't matter, because
Yep. And that was a thing. But there's things I always steal every year and try to learn something every year. And one of the things our head coach does really well is didn't think of it in my interview, but I kind of did, was how to build your youth programs.
Right.
And
you definitely want that in there. Did they make you diagram or do anything in the interview?
No.
Okay.
No, it was just a straight interview.
Yeah, I've had some coaches within the last 6 months that they actually made them run a practice. I've had a couple, they were down to like 2 or 3 candidates, and they took the candidates and took the kids that were coming back and said, go run a practice. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So just something to think about. Like, here's your 30 minutes. Here's some kids that have graduated. Go do your 30. Look at that. See?
That looks good.
Does that look good?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's 20 years of marriage right there. Yeah.
There you
go. No, that's good. I mean, that's what just something to think about.
Yeah. And like for me, the one thing I have listened to you on the podcast about practice planning and what to do for practices and what you want to get in. And one thing our head coach did was emailed and said, this is what I want to get, 3 things I want to get done in this practice, 3 things absolutely, and we'll fill in the rest that meets with it. Never thought of that as a coach.
Right.
So what I did is I brain dumped and I went in and said, what do I want to get done in the first 10 practices that first week? And
yeah, I got a whole
out
spreadsheet and I stuck pretty close to it. And the thing is, now I'm like, so it's January. Now I'm thinking, like, we talk about 3 perfect possessions, because right now I'm trying to tweak things at this point in the season. So right now what I'm doing is, like, we'll come in and we'll run our offense. We call it fists. We'll run fists. And if we'll have both groups do it, and if we get 3 perfect possessions, we're on. Like, all right, we got it. Good. Those are, and I don't know if it was like 2 days ago or 3 days ago we had it, and it took us 14 times to get 3 perfect possessions. So it's like, okay, that's the problem, guys. We should be able to do. We gotta precise, keep their legs, more shots, that kind of stuff.
I like that. I might bring that to my head coach tomorrow or at practice. It might be just something to bounce an idea.
The problem this time of year is you're losing their attention. They want to play, and they're losing their legs. And it's like, I just literally, like, over winter break. So we went to Florida for a tournament, won it, came back, had a couple good practices. And then the day before, sort of on the Saturday before school started on Monday, we had a horrible practice. And I literally stopped it and we played dodgeball because it was over. They were on winter break. They're up playing late, video games late at night, all that crap. It's like, all right, you just got to – the old me, the 25-year-old of me would have just battled them at that point and gotten them on the line and run them. It's like, I think it's what I say in my podcast. It's the Snapchat world. Let's get in, get out, boom. And my film sessions have gotten that way too. But I have gone old school on film sessions, and now, we're using that notebook more than we have in the past. Write these things down, diagram this up, do this, just so it's a different type of thinking for them. But it's hard. This time of year is hard, brutal.
I like that 3 perfect possessions, because I like that for offense, and then, like, for us defensively, it was 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I saw a tweet on Twitter, and it said if you get 3 stops in a row 7 times in a basketball game, you'll win the game 70% of the time. And that's something we pushed defensively. And the last 3 years before this, we had the guys. We had sophomores for 3 years. Sophomores starting 3 years ago, and we tracked that. And it's nothing more intimidating or annoying, I would say, when I have to yell out in a packed gym saying we have 2 stops in a row, we need 1 more for 3, and our guys they fly off the handle trying to get that dang ball and try to force a bad 3, then we get it, and then we go down and score, and it just shrinks that other team so bad when they hear that.
So I love that. I wrote that down. I love that. Another thing that we do is we talk about, especially at the end of a game, we talk about a stop, a score, and a stop. We go the other way. We do
that drill.
All the time. That is like, and again, it goes back to that power of 3. It's just small, precise, here we go. We're going to get a stop. I mean, I've literally, like, we were in a tournament in Florida, we won, and the last minute I go, you guys will win this game if we get a stop right now, a score and a stop. Game's over. Because we're in good shape at this point. And then their eyes get real big, and they know it's like, all right, we got to get a stop. It's that small little piece. It's not the big thing. It's that small little piece. Our film session,
I like that because we do a lot of.
Go ahead.
I like that a lot because we do the stop and score a lot. But the drill we do is if you get a stop and a score, you're off the court, or you stay on the court. The other team is off. Might add another thing of get a stop, a score, go down and get another stop,
and it's over because we got the ball now. Now we got the ball. We've just basically, it's over at that point. And then another thing we do in our film session, as I'm thinking about it, is we'll break a possession down. I go, all right, we were watching one like 3 days ago, and there were like 8 different times that something could have gone right or wrong. They don't understand that there's thousands of little things in a game.
Yeah.
I love to do that about once every 3 or 4 film sessions. I'll just pick a possession. I'll go, the kid hit a 3 on the wing or something, and we were slow on our closeout. I go, we don't even get to that if we do this, and this. There were 7 little things before that one bad rotation that made it occur.
Yeah.
And they just see the one thing, the missed dunk or the, missed.
Yeah.
They don't see the whole, like, there's so many micro things. That's why the perfect possession thing is something we really talk about.
Yeah, because one thing that we get to with our guys is we have everyone 100% of our scoring left last year. We graduated 9 seniors. Well,
That's
100% of the scoring left. Yeah. So we have 2 sophomores that are good, really good. One's, leading scorer right now. We got 2 good juniors. We got a senior, and then we have, 3. We have 10 guys we could play. I mean, we play 8 or 9, depending on matchups, obviously. And so it's one of those things of teaching them is shot selection. Depending on if you shoot a contested 3 and what spot from the floor you're shooting it could lead to a run out for a layup from the other end. And, if we're shooting 5 seconds into the shot clock after we just got a stop on the other end, that's not giving us a good opportunity to do well, to be successful. Right. And our guys aren't comprehending that as far as, we're chucking up 3s early in the game. It's like, yeah, we're good 3-point shooting, but if it's not hitting, we need to get to the rim somehow.
Right. You got to get it inside. And that's been our issue too. It's like, if we hit them, we're going to beat you by 40.
Yeah.
But when we're not, it's like, whoa, what can we do? We got to get the ball inside. We got to attack the rim, those kind of things.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Any other questions, Coach? I got another call here in about 2 minutes.
No, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
You let me know. And if you send me an email, I'll see if I can find. I know I've got a couple philosophies. You want to look at different ones that people have
Absolutely.
Send me an email and I'll take care of you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Yep. No problem. Anytime. See ya.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.
Hey, Coach. Hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com up above and down below. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe down below. I have been there. TeachHoops.com is a great community. It's not only a community, it's not only resources, it's also mentoring. You'll get my personal email address. You'll get help from me whenever you want, one-on-one calls, office hours, anything like that. So I've won lots of championships. Let me help you win championships too.